All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive with me. And
It's great to be back.
so today we're going to be digging into
Yeah.
a really interesting framework
Yeah.
for sales,
hmm
and it's called the ASK framework.
You got it.
Yes, so
Out there
it's a li-
a little bit, right?
it's a little bit provocative, but as we were looking at the material for this, I was thinking, a
Yeah,
lot of our
this is
listeners
true.
are working on these kinds of, like higher ticket things, whether it's
Absolutely.
coaching or selling courses or, things that are not just like, the...
Right. Yeah, not the $7 product.
Right.
Not the impulse buy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that, we can get past the name and we can look at some of these,
Yeah, the substance.
the substance,
That's what's
yeah.
there.
And
Right.
really think about, how to apply this stuff.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
So the first part of this framework
Right,
is
hear it.
acknowledge.
Okay.
Okay. And we were looking at this, I was thinking, well,
Mm-hmm.
obviously you want to acknowledge someone when you're talking to them, right?
You would hope so.
That's just common courtesy.
It's common courtesy at a minimum, right?
So why is this even a thing?
But there's more to it when it comes to sales, right?
Yeah.
I think the thing about high ticket sales is that it's not a one and done transaction.
Right.
So you really are trying to build rapport with someone.
Okay.
And I think acknowledging them,
Mm-hmm.
going a little bit above and beyond, like really noticing things, right?
Oh, okay.
Like even if it's something small, like they said, oh, follow up with me on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah.
Following up with them on Tuesday, that seems really simple, but
Yeah.
it shows you're paying attention.
Yeah.
Or
Mhm.
even just mentioning a connection that you have.
Oh, like a mutual connection, or
Yeah, like, hey, I noticed on LinkedIn we both know so-and-so.
Okay, yeah.
That shows you're doing your homework,
Right.
that you value them.
That you put in a little extra effort.
Absolutely.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're
Yeah.
not just saying, "Hi, how are you?" You're actually
Right. It's more than a, hey, what's up?
right.
It's more than a, hey, girl, hi.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, I see you.
Okay.
I see what you're about.
I like that. Okay. So the next part of the
Yeah,
framework
what's next?
is state.
Okay.
And this one I have a little bit more, I don't know, maybe pushback on, but
Okay.
the idea is, you clearly state the value proposition of what you're
Right.
offering, right?
Yeah, you got to lay it out.
But the example that we were given here, it was something like, are you tired of the 9 to 5?
Right.
Do you want to be your own boss?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, well, that kind of feels a little,
I see where you're going.
like maybe a little bit manipulative.
Mhm.
Like,
Like you're playing on people's like desires.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, it can be if it's not genuine, right? Like
Right.
if you're just saying that to try to hook people in.
Right.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Okay.
But I think if
Yeah.
you genuinely believe
Yeah.
in what you're offering and you can see how it can help people
Right.
achieve that, then I think it's okay to speak to that desire.
Okay.
Because a lot of people are tired of the 9 to 5.
Yeah. I mean, that's for sure.
And they do want to be their own boss.
So it's about being,
Genuine at it.
yeah, being authentic
Okay.
and also backing it up, right? So
Okay.
in the example, it also talked about having a proven system, right? Oh, right.
So it's not just like, hey, come be your own boss. It's like,
Right.
I have this system.
Here's how to do
This
it.
is how it works.
I've done it.
I've done it. Other people have done it.
Right.
You can do it too.
Okay.
So it's about removing that risk and uncertainty.
So it takes away that fear.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense.
And then the other thing they did in the example was they quantified the earnings.
Oh, right.
So it wasn't just like, you'll make a lot of money.
You could make millions.
Right. It was like, people in this program on average make X amount of dollars per month.
Okay. So give them
So
some
all
actual,
tangibles.
yeah, numbers, something they can
It's
actually
wrap
wrap their head around.
Exactly.
Okay.
So you're painting a picture of what success could look like.
I like that. Okay. So we've acknowledged the connection.
Yep.
We've stated the value.
And I laid it out.
What is the last
What's the final
piece of this?
The S.
The S. All right.
Suggest.
So what do we suggest?
So here's where it gets interesting.
Okay.
Instead of going for the hard sell,
Okay.
you're simply suggesting a next step.
Okay.
You're qualifying the lead.
Oh, okay.
The example they gave was asking a question like, are you looking for a side hustle or a full-on business?
Oh, that's good. That's really good.
Right.
So it's not like,
It's not buy my thing.
are you ready to buy?
It's like, what
Yeah.
are you looking for?
Let's figure out.
Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, if this is even right
Let's see if this is even a good fit.
for you. Exactly.
I like that.
So it gives the power back to the potential client.
Okay. So does that ever backfire? Like, what if they're like, well, actually neither. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Like, do you ever run into that where you...
I mean, it happens, right?
Right.
But I think it's better to know that up front
Right.
than to waste time
Okay.
trying to convince someone
Yeah.
who's not a good fit.
Okay.
And from a psychological perspective, people are more likely to say yes
Mhm.
when they feel like they have a choice.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Okay. So you're not forcing them into anything. You're giving them options.
Yeah, so it's kind of like,
It's framing the next step as a choice, not an ultimatum.
right, like you're guiding them, you're not pushing them.
Exactly.
I like that. All right, so just to recap, the ASK framework: acknowledge, state, suggest. It's really about building that relationship,
Yeah, absolutely.
getting them to trust you,
Trust is key.
and then guiding them towards that, that buying decision, right?
Do a decision that's good for both of you.
Right, right. So it's a
Based on
win-win.
that.
Yeah, exactly. So what I was thinking about if we were going through this is, this is a sales framework,
That's
right?
how it's presented, yeah.
But I almost wonder if it applies to other areas of life, right?
I think so too.
Like, think about a time when you were trying to, convince someone of something, right?
Yeah.
Or you were pitching an idea at work,
Hmm.
or you were trying to, convince your partner to do something.
Right. Or even just having a difficult conversation with someone.
Yeah. Did you acknowledge their perspective?
Hmm.
Did you clearly state the value of what you were, what you wanted?
That's a good point.
And then did you offer a suggestion, like a way forward?
I think those principles can apply in a lot of different situations.
I think so too. I think so too. So something to think about for all of our listeners out there.
Food for thought.
Yeah, food for thought.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you
Thanks for having me.
so much for joining me on this deep dive. And for everybody listening out there, we will catch you next time.
See you then.
Bye.
Bye. CPC.